Hey everybody, welcome to Sexy Nerd Science, Season 5, Episode 4. I'm Drew, here with Dale and Josh, as always. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Hello there. Dale, I didn't hear anything you said.
Dale, you
don't need to hear what I say.
We just saw facial expressions.
Anyway.
I like how our script says Season 4, Episode 4.
What?
Our script says Season 4, Episode 4.
Our script says Season 5, Episode 4.
The actual episode title, like in the save file, there's
that's funny.
Season 4, Episode 4.
Don't pay attention to that.
Well, it's all we can see on our side right now.
Anyway, we got a great show for you guys, and we are
sorry about the delay in last week's show.
It's we're a little tired, a little sick, a little worn out from all that nacho chip eating and video game playing that we've been doing. I got a small head cold. Got a stuffy nose. Some ASMR.
The reasons why it's so loud is because it resonates right here.
Right in my forehead.
Right in that's like one of those dinosaurs with the huge resonating cavity in their forehead, like it goes way back, and they go. Woo! I hope that's part of my question of the week.
That was hilarious.
Paleontology.
Is paleontology a science?
I mean, it's a study of paleente.
It's just like when Sheldon says, "Why do we have a geology book? Geology's not science."
I believe I said that on a podcast.
I know.
We named an episode that geology is not a science.
Really?
Yeah.
We lost 3 geologist subscribers.
We actually met a few, so that's why I told you guys at the moment, I was like, "You sure you guys want to put there?" Like, yeah, it's hilarious.
I don't remember that.
We're just kidding, geologists. We enjoy your rock licking.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. You called them lock lickers, rock lickers, pop
lickers,
pop, rock and lick it.
Speaking of rock lickers, Dale and I used to have a school principal whose first name was Rock and his last name was LeVictor.
I honestly don't remember that.
You remember Rock LeVictor?
I remember
Mr. Smiley.
Mr. Smiley.
That was the assistant principal.
That's all I remember, though.
Yeah.
Now we have to cut that out because that's somebody's real name.
I mean, don't go out there and hurt. We literally had an episode where we went out and found Clint P. Smiley, my old assistant principal.
We found him on Facebook. We friended him, sent him a gift basket. Do you not remember any of this?
I don't think we sent him a gift basket.
Oh, I sent him a gift basket.
To Mr. Clint P. Smiley.
By the way, we don't know if that's his real middle name. It's
just every time he calls him down, he'd be like, Dale P. Rogers, down to the office, please. And Dale's like, it's not my middle name. I'm like, I don't care. Nobody listening to that knows that it's not your middle name.
All right. Well, we're going to get into some sexy news here with the most notable thing that happened this weekend that was supposed to be sexy, but turned out to be something else.
Incredibly boring.
Based on what I can only assume is the exorbitant amount of people who watched it. That was not me or Dale.
1/3 of the podcast approves.
So Josh. And well, I mean, everybody else that watched it too, but it was not me and Dale. The big game. The
big game that's watched by the millions of people.
The nacho cheese, Bud Light, pigskin game that was going on.
Also happens to share the same name of a bowling alley in Canton, Michigan.
Is that bowling alley a super bowling alley?
It is a super bowling alley, yes.
So we're going to talk about the big game and the big letdown.
We're calling it the big game, too, because I did not know, but I watched it. But I did not know that we cannot call it its real name due to copyright issues with the NFL. Oops. Can we say the words NFL? Yeah, NFL, I'm sure we're fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's an entity, but it's a...
You know what else is an entity? Rock LeVictor.
So yeah, we're the big game. The bowl of soup. We are I don't know. What'd you guys? I mean, what'd you think? I mean, I know the Pats won.
So it was between. This was almost going to be like something related to the Super Bowl was going to be Dale's pop culture question of the week, but I decided against that to make it a little more nerdy than just pop culture. So it was the New England Patriots versus the not St. Louis, but the Los Angeles Rams.
The LA Rams.
The LA Rams. So I was kind of excited because there was two Nebraska players that were really good Nebraska players.
Rex Burkhead and Ndamukong Suh.
And Rex Burkhead went to the NFL the year before Ndamukong Suh did, and then Ndamukong Suh went in. So it was, or it might have been the other way around.
It was the other way around.
Yeah, Ndamukong Suh went in first, then Rex Burkhead. Regardless, it was awesome to see them.
Regardlessly?
Sure. Like inflammable.
Inflammability.
Yeah. But yeah, Rex Burkhead was playing and Ndamukong Suh was playing. Honestly, I think Rex Burkhead probably did a little better in the game. So yay, Nebraska native Rex Burkhead. Also, your team ended up winning. It was a very boring game. It was the lowest scoring big game in the history of the big game. I want to say it was 13 to 3. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much just not there for the good football. But a lot of people watched it for the commercials. And I thought the commercials were on point. I did not think that there was much of a, it was really weird.
He said turn Josh up. He said turn Josh down 20% and Drew up 10%. So I just moved my mic closer and your mic farther away from your face.
That worked. Yeah, watching the Super Bowl. Dang it, it's really hard not to say it out loud.
The stupid
watching the event. It was pretty boring, but watching the commercials was nice. Couple Marvel trailers came out, which were awesome. We didn't actually put that in here for news, but since it's kind of part of the event, we got a trailer for Avengers.
Going to talk about that,
and a trailer for Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel comes out next month, right?
Mid-March, I think. It's
Mid-March.
14th.
I will Google it.
The Ides of March.
Yeah, it comes out. That's not the Ides, but
the Ides is the 15th, but it's actually the 13th.
Friday, March 8th.
March 8th. So
from
there's another movie coming out like
Friday
next week. That's also Alita is coming out.
Battle Angel.
Yeah, I think there was a commercial for.
During the super game.
I think so. See, it's really tough, man.
I was going to change the second word every time.
You gotta, during the Awesome Bowl. Superfluous Bowl.
The Superfluous Cup.
Did you put your name in the Superfluous Cup? Of fire.
The Cup of Fire.
But I'm sorry. We're digressing because this is how boring the actual game was.
So the couple things I want to talk about were the movie trailers and then some of the commercials. So the Avengers trailer kind of gave us a better insight to some of the things that people have been hinting at over the past few months here with Tony Stark being sent adrift. One of the things that people were talking about was that he wasn't alone and that I can't think of her name.
Nebula.
Nebula would be helping him.
Amy Pond.
Huh?
Amy Pond.
That's right.
Yeah. So you get a little glimpse at that. They're kind of, mashing some things together, working together. You see Thor get a little more Thor-y. You see a bunch of people suit up. Ant-Man, Rhodey, War Machine, couple other people, obviously.
in space. I've noticed people critiquing that in the trailer, it seemed that there were spaces where it looked like someone might have been digitally cut out of the trailer.
Oh.
So I encourage anyone who saw the trailer, go back, watch it. See if you can
off.
see if you can see where some of the spaces were. But yeah, maybe we're not full up on all the Avengers being there. Obviously, there's a new movie coming out, which is supposed to involve that character. So we will see. Dale can't hear you.
That character I actually didn't see in the trailer.
No, you didn't see it. And that's why I think they were kind of
hiding
her. Well, thanks. Give it away now, Dale.
Hiding a.
How was that giving it away?
All right, it's Storm from X-Men, everybody. Just kidding. It's not going to be Storm from X-Men.
Is it Halle Berry?
No. It's actually, it's Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Has Halle Berry played in anything?
Has she been in anything?
Yeah, I'm like, what was the last thing she was in?
Probably, honestly, the last X-Men movie.
I mean, didn't she play in like any like scary movies?
She was in that one, but I think that was before X-Men.
Yeah, I think X-Men was like her last role.
No, she was in X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she was in a Kevin Hart movie as herself.
That doesn't count.
And then the Kingsman, she was in The Golden Circle, the new one.
Oh, yep. I remember that. She played the gadget girl.
Yep. And then she's going to be in John Wick 3.
John Wick 3?
Yeah.
I thought that was the last John Wick movie.
The second one?
Yeah.
It ends on a huge cliffhanger.
I was just kidding. I haven't seen any of the John Wicks, actually.
Oh, that is something you need to watch.
I know.
It's really good.
But, so yeah, Avengers trailer was good. Captain Marvel trailer was awesome. Commercials, I think my personal favorite, the one that I keep taking away and remembering, was probably a couple, were the Bud Light ones. Bud Light Game of Thrones was hilarious. I loved that. Dale, are you caught up on Game of Thrones right now?
I'm caught up on Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So I'm not caught up on the commercials.
So in Game of Thrones, there's, spoiler alert, there's a scene where the Mountain is fighting the Viper, and ends up like winning the fight by crushing the head of the Viper. Well, in this, it's the Bud Light Knight. So the Bud Knight is jousting against a masked person who you don't see who it is, and gets like thrown off his horse. And then when that happens in a joust, like they're supposed to go battle, and then you see the Mountain walk up to the Bud Light Knight and just crushes his helmet, and then everyone's like screaming, like all the Bud Light people, the dilly guys there, and then a dragon shows up and starts breathing fire all over everybody. And then it was a Game of Thrones commercial. So it started off as a Bud Light commercial and turned out to be a Game of Thrones commercial. And it was really funny. I thought it was just excellent.
I'm watching it right now because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that way, but it was pretty good. And then the other Bud Light one that I thought was really good was they had a big thing to do with how Bud Light has no corn syrup in it.
Well,
and
it's not a Coors Light thing or something like that.
Nope. So what they did is they were like they're sitting there and there's a scene where they're all just chilling, and then they're like, Bud Light community, your shipment of corn syrup is here. And they're like, oh, we don't use corn syrup in our stuff. So then they like go on this journey, and it's like cuts from the Lord of the Rings basically, but not really.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like making this journey to deliver the corn syrup to different areas, and they go to like Miller Lite Town and like Coors Light Town, and they can't find who's, and then finally they're like, oh, this is your corn syrup. They're like, it is, thank you, just leave it there, we'll come pick it up. Like it was good. It was really funny. So yeah, I thought that was good. But the best part was like Miller Lite responded to the commercial on Twitter and was like, hey, Bud Light, thanks for all the free publicity. By the way, Like, yes, we totally use corn syrup, but it's not high fructose corn syrup, which is what you're wanting people to believe.
Yeah.
Also, we have less calories and taste better. Thanks, Bud Light. And I was like, damn, shots fired.
Man.
And truth be told, I do drink Miller Lite more than I do Bud Light. Only because it has fewer calories.
I like the person that said, I don't think the person who's drinking Coors Light or Bud Light or whatever it was, somebody had said, I don't think they care if there's corn syrup in their beer. And I thought that was the best joke ever. Because if you're drinking a watered down shit beer, that's not
it's a high quality Pilsner right there.
Well,
just kidding.
If it's a Bud Light, a Budweiser, a Coors Light, a Coors Weiser, or whatever the water brand is, Keystone, whatever. It's not some frou-frou IPA or big name fancy beer. It's all just cheap ass beer, in the eyes of the people. Nobody cares if there's fucking corn syrup in their beers.
I could care less. Real quick to change subject, Josh, are you wearing a new shirt?
I am wearing a new shirt. I've got my shipment, and so of my stuff that I've ordered from Teespring, I ordered 5 Sexy Nerd Science t-shirts, 2 Hey Everybody t-shirts.
It looks okay.
A Hey Everybody mug. I got a Hey Everybody pillow and a Sexy Nerd Science pillow.
Nice.
So got pretty
he's
much
dumb
everything.
Because he bought a Sexy Nerd Science pillow and
not a Hey Everybody pillow.
Not a Hey Everybody pillow twice.
I did not know that the Hey Everybody pillow had the Sexy Nerd Science pillow logo on the other side. So yeah, I bought that. But yeah, so now I have a bunch of Sexy Nerd Science shirts to wear around all the time, and I'm gonna be just like Toby Turner and wear my own freaking t-shirt all the freaking time. My goal is immediately.
Did he do some bad stuff?
Yeah.
Don't say you want to be like Toby Turner then.
Just as far as wearing the t-shirts all the time. The Tobuscus TV shirts.
What did he do? Did he get in trouble?
Oh my God. We talked about this, I think, before.
Nah.
As of legally, no, he did not get in any trouble.
Oh, was he though? Did he like?
He was accused of a lot of sexual assault. He was accused of like really bad drug use, getting other people to do drug use, which he admitted to the drug use thing.
That now.
And then he lost his contract with Disney, I think he had, and basically, lost a lot of his gaming sponsorships, had to kind of start over from the beginning. And I mean, he lost a bunch of people, and he's kind of still back with the vlogs and the video games and stuff. Still doing pretty well on all that. So, I mean,
there were some videos I saw of him just like he looked like trash. He just looked run down.
For about a year, he was just out of it. Like, and I kind of watched to kind of just check up and see how the story was progressing. But yeah, that ended pretty quick. Now there's a bunch of other YouTube drama out there that we could get into by just watching the Philip DeFranco show. The show that is the best show, but it's not really a show. It's just me talking to a camera for 3 to 4 minutes. Yeah. No. Except now all the episodes are like 20 minutes long.
13 was the longest one I watched.
Oh, man. There was a 20-minute one.
Or there was a 19-minute one, yeah.
And then there was they do the morning videos now. They're actually really good. I love the deep dives. They did it on the marijuana industry. They did it on, and why can't I think of all the ones? But yeah, there was climate change. They did one on. So there was a bunch of really good videos. I thought. Kudos to Philip DeFranco. I really wish he'd come to a convention. Like, I know he has like no reason to come to a comic convention, but like it would just be awesome to do that and see him. But yeah, that was the.
I mean, doesn't he go to the one thing in Los Angeles every year?
VidCon or whatever.
Yeah,
I think he hasn't done VidCon. I know he's doing like a Rooster Teeth thing this year though in Texas. RTX probably. Which would be kind of cool to see. I mean, like I said, I would love to go to one of these cons where he's at, but obviously going to a con in California is going to be a little difficult. But I'd really like to do it. I know we weren't going to talk about this necessarily in Sexy News, but one of my favorite people that I always get to see every year at Planet Comic-Con as of right now is not going to be there. So I would like to...
I'm going to be there.
I know, Dale, you're going to be there, but Abby Darkstar's not going to be there.
I saw you tweet her.
Not for her birthday.
Josh doesn't do
get her a birthday present.
Josh doesn't do anything on Twitter except for like Abby's stuff and
like Elon Musk stuff. I use Twitter for Elon Musk, Sarah Schuer, the girl from the Vines, that I don't know why. I just love watching and reading her tweets. Abby Darkstar and Jessica Negri. That's about it. Oh, and the girl who does the contouring video on YouTube was like, if the boys learn we can shapeshift, they will tell the church. That girl. And she's hilarious. I love that contouring video.
Hey, it's Coraline.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
whatever it is.
Maybe
She's
it's
got
Maybelline.
YouTube videos. And
she's on TikTok now, and her videos just got removed like a bunch of times.
good. Yeah, she's whatever it is. I mean,
Wait, why good?
because I love TikTok and I'm on that all the time now too.
Yeah,
Fuck
but-
TikTok. We are
Just got
30
removed.
years old.
Oh, I thought you meant he got a bunch of.
No, it had like 7 million views, and it got removed.
Interesting.
She did another post about it.
But yeah, I follow her on Twitter because she posts a lot of that stuff. She's also got a professional acting gig now too.
She did. She's also got an agent.
Oh, and then also Boxy Babe. I follow her on.
Don't care about that.
Caitlin is so awesome. Basically, when people stop doing like YouTube stuff, if they like go to just Twitter, I usually follow them on Twitter now. Because that's why Caitlin I started following on Twitter. And then because Vine stopped, then I was like, I need more Sarah in my life.
Do. Okay, so
Mine was amazing.
Vine was. Can we?
yeah,
I know you hate TikToks,
I'm not even gonna even talk to you about it.
but there's this new trend on TikTok
No.
that I think is hilarious.
No.
Where it's a trick shot with your camera where you hold it while you're in front of a mirror and just start running, and then you edit the image to make it look like you're running from the left to the right of the camera of the mirror, and like it's just these people just like anime running, and it's so clever. Like I was like, this is an awesome shot. That
You tried it, didn't you?
no, I didn't try it. I wanted to though.
Yeah, you're going to.
I don't have a big enough mirror. But yeah, it was really good. Some of those TikToks are really good. Some of them are cringy, and those ones are good too.
all right. So the big game was cool. Let's talk about this, the halftime, the midway show.
Oh,
So it was that colorful band with 5 people in it.
I think we can actually say their name.
I don't know their name. That's the thing. I only know the cool guy, Adam Devine.
Adam Levine, Maroon 5.
Adam Devine is that cool guy who's got all those tattoos.
Illinois.
Yeah,
Have you seen the 50 states of them?
I have. That's hilarious.
I was hoping Dale would get on it.
There was a bunch of Dale-looking guys,
Well, that's what,
even from Michigan.
Good looking guys. That's what you meant to say?
that's what he meant to say.
Yeah. Not a fat or obese or hairy or drinking beer in the background.
No, so I was definitely hoping Dale would get on that trend. But anyway, so I didn't hear the show. It's 10 o'clock. No, it's not. I thought I heard trumpets. And that's the 10 o'clock symbol here.
Thought I heard.
Okay, wait, what?
I thought I heard trumpets. It might have
The
been
10 o'clock symbol is trumpets.
yeah, they have
Explain.
at the base.
They play
here,
taps.
they
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
And it's taps in the morning
was it
at I think it's 7 a.m. or 8 a.m.
It's 7 a.m.
It's at 7 a.m. They play taps in the morning to get everybody up, and then they play the burr, 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 like in I can't remember the name of the song, but they play that at 10 o'clock when the bass is basically like end of business day.
See, that makes complete more sense. To me, all I'm hearing is like, oh, my phone makes trumpet noises.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then also one of the signs of the apocalypse is a trumpet. So if you just randomly
It's not a
start
trumpet,
hearing,
it's just a horn.
yeah, if you randomly hear like a horn sound, You're like, oh no, apocalypse! Gabriel's blowing that horn, and now we're all gonna die.
It's mostly looks or in like depictions. It's a French horn,
And then rapture.
All right, so we got Baboon 5 playing in the Super Dome.
And there's that
for the halftime show.
There was not just
Superdome's a place,
Yeah, but we can say Super Dome.
but
I think
that's
that's
copyrighted.
That's
Yeah.
just, huh?
Superdome's copyrighted.
No, Superdome is
wasn't that actually the place they were doing it at?
no.
No, they did it at the Atlanta place, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
You're right, because it's the Superdome 2.0. Because the one in not St. Louis, in New Orleans, the actual Superdome was Mercedes-Benz 1.0.
And here in Michigan, we had the Silver Dome.
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about this while we were in Michigan, actually.
Exactly.
But the Superdome is a location. It's not something that is covered under copyright nonsense because we can talk about it.
It's a dome that's super.
Yeah, it's also a bowl upside down if you think about that. So that's why I was going with that. But thanks for fucking throwing that train off the tracks, Dale. Anyway,
Why is it my fault only?
because you were like, that's copyrighted.
It is
That's
copyrighted.
Okay, so anyway, we got Baboon 5, and they played the SpongeBob song for 10 seconds. It was too long of a vine, and then everybody got all up in arms because they didn't play Sweet Victory, and that's the whole gist of the halftime.
There's two other
Oh.
artists that performed with Baboon 5.
Nope,
One of
Holly
them,
Berry,
Big Boy
big boy.
from Outkast.
DJ Khalifa.
Wiz Khalifi? Wiz Khalifi?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be. I'm gonna make that mashup. Wiz Khalifi. It's gonna be somebody dressed as
Daenerys Targaryen.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Wiz Khalifi, first of his name.
That's hilarious. All right, so yeah, apparently it was bad. Was it really bad?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. The performance was meh. The rapping was meh. One of the other rappers, not Big Boy, but one of the other rappers was pretty much censored almost the entire time. So like his three verses, his three verses were, like of the 45 seconds that they were, like 10 seconds were audible singing. The rest of it was all censored. So it was pretty ridiculous.
He probably had that get that censored. Dick.
I did like the lanterns. They did the drone lanterns last year at Lady Gaga's performance. I think it was Lady Gaga.
Drone lanterns.
Yeah. So what they did is they had like hundreds of drones that used. We talked about it on the podcast last year. That were all mapped together. Dale, you're not talking. They were all mapped together.
Wasn't that Microsoft or Intel?
It was
Intel. They did that at the other 5-ring place we can't talk about.
I think that's also where they did it, but they did it last year at the Super Bowl too.
The 4-year turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jesus.
What can we say?
I know. I love what we can be like.
Sexy Nerd Science.
Yeah. I love what we can talk about Intel and all their stuff. But yeah, it had the drone mapping and they spelled out love.
Ooh.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
Was
So,
it
yeah.
in maroon?
Was it in red?
But people were carrying legitimate lanterns. And I thought that people just lit the lanterns and like let them like go off in the middle of this dome. And I'm like, that is a terrible idea. You're indoors. Like, I was like
We're indoors.
having a mini panic attack. And then I was like, oh, wait, those aren't really.
Well, I got to tell you this story. So yesterday, I went to I was helping my friend record some promotional stuff for a theater production that's actually going on right now at the Village Theater in Canton.
Yep, Cabaret.
Yeah. And one of the things they did is, not to spoil it, because obviously no one's
Spoilers.
There's some pyrotechnics in there. So everyone was busy. Daniel was gone because he was the stagehand. Everyone was gone, so I was there. And when
Daniel's copyrighted.
Daniel's not copyrighted. So everyone was gone, so we had to, in order for them to do pyrotechnics, somebody has to be on stage holding a fire extinguisher. So I was there holding a fire extinguisher, ready for if anything burned down.
Firefighter Dale,
And obviously the theater is still there, so
Yeah, nothing happened, but it was
you should have. That would have been a sick burn. You could have been like, and Dale also let a building burn down this week.
yeah. And that's where Dale's video just cuts out, and then the Sarah McLachlan song, it's also copyrighted, starts playing.
And then you see sad puppies.
Yeah.
Sad pictures of Dale.
In the arms of a Dale, fly away.
All right, so that was a good game. We are now to our second topic, pop culture literacy.
Yeah, second topic. So every week we ask Dale a pop culture
37
literacy
minutes. 37 minutes.
question. No, that was there from before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm at 31.
Yeah, see? So don't worry, this is going to be a quick one. I know it. Every week we ask Dale a pop culture literacy question that's about pop culture. This week I'm asking a pop culture question that's also about nerdy stuff. So maybe it might work, and I'm giving him some pretty good chances. He's got at least 7 different people to choose from.
He's got a 3 of 7 chance.
Yep. So I'm going to ask Dale to name me 3 directors of the Star Wars movies.
Directors.
Yep. 3 people who have directed Star Wars movies before.
Was George Lucas director?
Yep. That counts as one.
Okay. I can just name some directors, right?
I mean, I wouldn't give you all day to name directors, but I mean,
J.J. Abrams.
that's 2.
There's one in there that's like a half point.
There's one in there that's a half point that I'd give you. There's one that ruined the Star Wars franchise, and there's one that was a childhood actor that grew up to be a director.
Oh shit! What's his name?
The other ones you're just not going to get, so I'm not even.
What's that guy's name? The guy from Happy Days.
Yeah. I can't tell you because the guy from Happy Days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's Steven Spielberg.
Okay, so Steven Spielberg was one of the ones that when I was texting Drew,
That's the half
technically
point.
Steven Spielberg has never been actually fully.
He didn't he didn't direct a full movie. He helped on, was it 2 of them?
He helped on a bunch of them, but Steven Spielberg is credited in episode 3, but not as a director, as an assistant to the director.
Assistant to the regional manager.
But yeah, I would say Steven Spielberg helped because he helped a whole lot. So you got at least 3 of them.
Okay, let me try to guess one more.
Okay.
God damn, what's that guy's name? The guy from Happy Days is who I'm trying to think of.
He's in Happy Days. He's in Arrested Development. He's got his childhood break in the Andy Griffith Show.
This guy's a stern.
I can picture his face, and I know who we're talking about, but I just can't.
What color is his hair?
This guy's a very stern
Orange?
guy.
That's a good one. He's basically a Weasley. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a Weasley.
Yeah, like maybe like Ron Weasley.
Is his last name Potter?
Nope.
No. I think he was on
his first name is very Harry Pottery, though.
I think he was on the Howard
and
Stern
Weasley,
show.
especially.
So his first name is Ron.
He looks like Ron Weasley, and I think he was on the Howard Stern show.
Ron Howard?
Ron Howard.
I wouldn't have got that.
Okay.
I wouldn't have got that. Without you guys helping me, I wouldn't have
Ryan
got it.
Johnson.
What is it?
Ryan Johnson.
Isn't it Rain Johnson?
Yeah, Rain Johnson, Ryan Johnson. I think it's actually pronounced Ryan, but
So read me the list of everybody.
I mean, George Lucas, Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Ron Howard. By the way, Ron Howard did Solo. Ryan Johnson did Rogue One and Episode 8, and everyone hated Episode 8 and thought he ruined the Star Wars franchise. George Lucas did 1, 2, and 3.
You said there were 7.
I know. So I said there was at least 7.
So who are the other ones?
2 other people that I don't even know, honestly.
So where are
Did
they?
Episode 5 and 6. I can pull it up again. I had it Wikipedia.
That is so
You
obscure.
got it right. You got at least 3 of them already. That's what I told
But that's so obscure. I mean, like, who knows directors?
So
I mean, George Lucas is pretty up there as far as
I would say George Lucas. Who created Star Wars? I would say George Lucas. That would be a good question. John Williams, who did some of the orchestra for it, or did all of it.
that was the reason why he picked Star Wars, because A, I watched a ton of Indiana Jones movies when I was with you, and B, we also you mentioned to me the other day when we were talking about voice actors and stuff like that, how like, oh, these guys aren't actually directors. And I was like that matters, because like no one really cares. I mean, people, if they care about the series, are going to care about directors, but they also care just as much about voice actors.
Holy shit.
And actors in television shows.
It is only 7 people. George Lucas, Irvin Kershner,
Yep.
Richard Marquand, J.J. Abrams, Gareth Edwards, Rain Johnson, Ron Howard.
Yep. So that's what I was saying. I mean, and we gave you technically one other one because, like I said, Steven Spielberg wasn't actually credited as the director, but he was an assistant to the director, and had a really big hand in directing Episode 3.
Cool.
So yeah, you got that one right. So you are 2 for 4 on pop culture literacy. And like I was saying, the reason why it was a valid question is because it's one of those things where A, it's Star Wars. I think a lot of people could have gotten that question right.
Really? Like a lot of people like
some
that?
of those things right. But
I mean,
like, if I were to ask, like, name 3 actors from Star Wars,
I could have done that.
easily do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of to drive my point home that earlier when we were talking about actors and directors and things like that, and we made a big deal that like, oh, directors should be a bigger deal. And I think, well, not always, because, if a con is going to have a bunch of directors come to the convention, but no actors, like I think the actors are going to draw more of a crowd because more people recognize the actors than they do directors.
Well, I agree that, but I think more people would want to see George Lucas than probably some of the actors.
Oh, I'm 100%. Honestly, if it was like George Lucas, if it was a line for George Lucas or Mark Hamill, I bet more people would be looking to go see Mark Hamill.
No, I think more people would go to see George Lucas. And here's why: George Lucas doesn't do as many things.
That's true. I could say the rarity of seeing George Lucas, I guess, would be up there. Yes,
Yeah.
I could say it. But like, okay, fine. Ron Howard and Mark Hamill. Like, Ron Howard is a famous.
Ron Howard, though, is known for other things.
I know, but I still think Mark Hamill's line would be bigger than
Fucking Happy Days.
really the Andy Griffith Show and Arrested Development.
What was the font? Henry Winkler?
Henry Winkler.
who's
Passed
also
away.
going to be at Planet Comic Con.
Didn't he pass away?
Oh,
No,
there
or
was
is
a,
he gonna, is it Henry Winkler? Who's gonna be at Planet?
It's Henry Winkler.
Okay, I didn't know if he was gonna be at Planet or Denver. One of the
Nah,
ones
it's
that I was
Planet.
like, yes, I'm gonna see Henry Winkler in person.
Henry Winkler. His Twitter is H Winkler for real.
It's
H. Winkler.
Robert Loblaw. Bob Loblaw. That's a low blow, Loblaw.
So pretty fun.
But yes,
All right,
so
so
that was a
today-
good transition into nerdiness.
So we are going to Planet Comic Con eventually, but right now we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about stupid anime shows.
Yeah. It's not really a stupid anime show, but there's a lot of voice actors from this anime that are going to be at Planet
No,
Comic
it's
Con.
a stupid anime show.
I think a lot of our audience is going to beg to differ, Dale.
I mean, I think Dragon Ball Z is a stupid anime show.
Don't ever.
Just because you like it doesn't mean it's not stupid.
I want one of our
Or racist.
Or
cosplay.
racist.
I want one of our cosplayer friends to just crush you in their thighs.
I would let
Be careful what we say.
Night Mage do that for me.
Night Mage crush you in his thighs.
I was hoping he was going to go there.
I was hoping so too. So yeah,
Night
we wanted
Mage
to
and
talk
Christopher
about
English.
My Hero Academia, which I've been trying to get Dale into more of, because
Hold on. Let me roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I don't want to be the only person going to a Comic-Con really liking these voice actors, having been the only person to see My
Don't you
Hero
just mean
Academia.
actors, Josh?
Yes, I do mean actors. I know I keep saying voice actors, but I do mean actors, actually. So thank you for that. Calling out my privilege.
You can call them voice actors. That's what they're doing in this show.
Some people might be offended by calling them just voice actors or actors.
If we were afraid of everybody that got offended, Josh.
No, see,
but I mean,
here's
people
the
have reached out to us about that specifically.
Oh no, I mean,
We were told by a
were
handler.
told- no, we were. So here's the thing: if you're talking about them in a specific instance, as far as Pokemon or My Hero Academia, they're voice acting in these things. But if to call them overall, specifically only voice actors, that's where it gets hairy. They are actors by trade. They're just doing voice acting specifically for these things. So,
So in the bubble of acting, voice acting is a bubble inside there, completely encompassed in
Yes.
acting.
Yeah.
It's just
and that could be
in
their
there.
focus,
Yeah.
but they're still actors. So,
Yeah. So, but yes, My Hero Academia. I am rewatching the series
So,
because I
hold
love
on.
it.
Give me a breakdown, like a 3 to 5 sentence synopsis, not synopsis.
Synopsis works.
Synopsis, verbal trailer of this show. What is it about? Go.
So My Hero Academia stars around a
You're already fucking it up.
Don't say his name.
a kid
Hey,
with
I'll do it. I'll do it.
no superpowers. No, because you don't know exactly what it is.
Crying little boy is being a bitch, and he gets superpowers, and everybody else it's the story of him fighting crime.
It's not. So Dale's only seen like
say
2.5
what I said
episodes.
wrong.
It is about a crying little boy
Does he get superpowers?
passionate about superpowers.
Does he get superpowers?
Because the world is filled with
Yes, he
superpowers.
does. Does he fight
superpower,
crime?
even though he's not supposed to be
crime.
able to get a superpower? He does not fight crime because he ends up going to school to learn to fight crime. And
Does he fight crime while he's at school?
He's training to.
Does he fight crime at all when he's in school?
A couple times he does fight
So he
crime
fights
while
crime.
he's at school. But the whole purpose of this is that this was a kid who was not supposed to be in this situation, gets an opportunity to change his fate, to recast that die, ends up getting superpowers, and then teaches superheroes about things while also learning himself how to be a better hero. Because I think this story is just as much about All Might learning from.
Oh, you weren't supposed to say his name. It's copyrighted.
Doesn't matter. All Might learning from Midoriya, as Midoriya learning from All Might.
Midoriya. Young Midoriya.
I find that aspect of this show very rewarding to
What
see.
is Star Wars about? Is it about the Alliance and them getting back, or is it about Jedi?
Depends which one you're talking about.
No, it is about Jedi, and anybody who says anything different is not correct.
It is about the Star Wars, Dale.
Yeah.
It's why
Better-
Han Solo isn't necessarily about the Star Wars. It's about a guy named Han Solo.
Yeah, that one is.
It's a Star Wars story, but it's not the Star Wars.
The Wars of Star.
But yeah, so I'm trying to get Dale into watching My Hero Academia. We'll see if Dale ever watches more episodes. Please leave your comments below. Or
I'm at 2.2.
All right. So,
yes, and Drew's at 0.0. Needs to see more episodes too. I would say that anybody who's saying this, if you're not really super passionate about anime, which Dale isn't, I think it takes more than
I mean, that's a lot of shows, though. It
3
takes-
episodes to
if
get
it-
into.
If it's got a large 40 episode deal, and you got to do at least give it 5 episodes.
There's
to get
a
it.
lot of environment building that happens in the first several episodes because you don't even get to the the actual Hero Academy until 5 or 6 episodes in.
So I have a question.
Yes.
This might be answered if I watch more of it. How does he get into the Hero Academia school if no one knows he's All Might?
So he's not All Might. That's the whole thing. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen more than the first couple episodes. He's given the power, but just a part of the power. He's not ready to take on the full power. So he only has a partial thing. And then, as you will see in the future episode, he gets everybody can audition for a spot in the academy. And the way you do it is they give you a written test and then a mock battle where you have to fight a bunch of robots. And he does something to basically win that contest to be accepted into the Hero Academy. Meanwhile, so does Bakugo. Bakugo
He's
is the
grenade
guy
hands.
who makes fun of Midoriya all the time.
These grenade hands.
He has actually what it is his quirk allows him to use his sweat to explode. So as he produces perspiration, that's what gives him the ability to explode things. And that gets exploited later on if he doesn't have enough water in his body to perspirate.
He's got
and
grenade
he can't
hands.
make explosions. He's Lord Explosion Murder.
Great hands. Okay. So along the lines of stupid anime shows, we're going to talk about another one, which I don't think is stupid. I think it's pretty awesome. Dragon Ball Z Arc, the Namekian Saga.
Dragon Ball Super.
No, Dragon Ball Z Arc.
Super.
Dragon Ball Super Bowl Arc.
You said you can't say that.
No, because I added Dragon Ball in front of it.
Gotcha.
Not a
It's the-
flamethrower.
It's the Dragon Ball Super Ball Arc. Super Ball. It's a Super Ball.
So yes,
Hug it, chug it. Dragon Ball.
new episodes of Dragon Ball Super are going to be coming out in 2019. Also new episodes of My Hero Academia as well.
Nobody cares.
Everyone cares.
Nobody cares.
It's a bigger deal.
So let me tell this real quick because I'm getting some mixed stories on this, Josh.
Okay.
So the new hero arc they were talking about is the Namekian Saga.
Yep.
Or it's a repeat of the Namekian Saga. Apparently, Galactic Patrol prisoner named Moro with an accomplice named Raspberry.
Yep.
Moro is an evil fighter and sorcerer that has once challenged the god themselves, and his goal is to get his hands on the Namekian Dragon Balls. In the process, you meet Raspberry, where apparently Raspberry and Vegeta has a history in the Frieza Force.
Yep.
This whole story, though, takes place after Broly.
Yes.
And so my understanding of how they're going to do it is they're actually going to do just how they did with the other two movies. They're going to do a whole Dragon Ball Super Broly edition TV show, and then they're going to go into that Namekian arc. That's not confirmed. Nothing's confirmed. We'll wait till we see it, but I'm seeing a lot of talk about that on too.
The Dragon Ball Super manga is what's going on with the Namekian Saga arc. There is what I've been seeing.
Yes. So
TV show is going to follow that eventually, but they might have some filler from Broly in there before, which would only make sense for how Dragon Ball's been doing, or Dragon Ball Super has been doing their arcs. When they launch a movie, they then start off the series basically retelling that movie, but more spread out, and then they add some more. So I would totally agree with that. I think it's really weird. I mean, it is a new Namek saga. I don't think the whole thing is going to be on Namek. I think, so Raspberry was a character that was introduced in Dragon Ball Z. For those of you guys that did watch Dragon Ball Z, what happened was Raspberry and his accomplice Blueberry basically tried to kidnap Bulma with the Dragon Balls and bring the Dragon Balls back to Frieza. Bulma explained what the Dragon Balls do, and then that's where Raspberry found out about it.
Pie.
And then, no, not Raspberry Pi. And then because Bulma had that little tiny mini episode where she gets attacked by a giant crab, she ends up leading Raspberry and Blueberry to the giant crab, where they get attacked by the crab, and then Bulma escapes, and that's how she gets out of that situation. So obviously,
come on, that was so fucking.
If you don't see them die, it doesn't count. So that's why.
And sometimes in the Dragon Ball Z universe, Dragon Ball Super universe, even if you die, you can be brought back to life.
Death is not permanent. Yep. And yeah, I mean that would be something that, which is, I mean, it's curious because I'm not entirely sure how those wishes would have worked to bring Raspberry back. Because if you wished, I mean, if they wished for everybody that Vegeta killed to come back, they wished for everybody that Frieza killed to come back.
They didn't wish everybody for Vegeta killed, did they?
Yeah, technically.
No, we're not doing the whole Nappa is a contract.
No. Well, I mean, so that's technically, so when they wished back Vegeta, or when they wished back all the people that Frieza killed, it counted Vegeta, but then when they added, Frieza's men, they still counted Vegeta as Frieza's men because there were Nameks that Vegeta killed on planet Namek that were also brought back to life. And that's why through that associative property, you would then say that, anybody Vegeta killed was also brought back because he was part of Frieza's men. However, technically, these people, I mean, if they did die, then it wasn't Vegeta or Frieza's men that did it. They just died from a giant crab. I guess if one of them didn't die and then Frieza blew up the planet and then they died because of that, then it could be, I guess, justified that that's how they got brought back, is because
Would they be on Earth then?
And that's, again, where, I mean, if they were on Earth,
You're splitting hairs at that point.
Well, I mean, this all could be part of it. I mean, obviously, this is still kind of speculation. I don't know very much about it. But, I mean, they could very well have ended up on Earth. Like Team 4-Star likes to joke around. Obviously, they said that Nappa ended up back on Earth when he died. And then basically was like, I forget this. I don't want to work for Vegeta anymore. And became like a real person. That
Nappa know-how.
He was an agent for Heat-Tap. No, Heat-Tap and Hercule. So he was Hercule's agent.
He started Nappa, the automotive industry company.
Possibly.
All right, cool.
But yeah,
so
Dragon Ball new series.
Couple other things in nerdy news. We got a coupon code, or not a coupon code, I guess a promotional code for Tangle Deep, a kind of 2D 8-bit side scroller game, or not side scroller even. It's kind of like an open world game. So far, I've played about 3 hours of it, just in the last 2 days. It's pretty freaking cool. I mean, you level up really easily at first, but then it's kind of a struggle, kind of a grind.
I love grinds.
Like coffee grinds?
No, like grinding through a game.
I can't. I got nothing else. So
Grinding.
It's really, it was like 8-bit Diablo sort of. Is the way I kind of got it, explained it to the guys here. You get to pick from a bunch of different classes. It's I don't know. To me, it's like Diablo meets Dungeons and Dragons, sort of. I mean,
or like an old school Zelda almost.
Yeah, even like old school Zelda.
Diablos and Dragons.
Diablos and Dragons. That's my new campaign. So I'll do a little review, like a word review for that next week when I've played a substantial bit more. I'm only level 4. I want to at least level up to somewhat close to a max level for the character set and get farther than the first dungeon.
So make sure to look for that written full review on
projectnerd.com. Project-nerd.com.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing the shirt, the glasses, Muscles glasses. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Today in Sciencey News, are we done with nerdy news? Do we have anything else?
I don't think we had anything else.
Apex Legends came out. I tested it out for about 20 minutes before we started playing, or before we started recording today. Seems pretty cool. Expect a full kind of review next week.
I'll probably play it as well.
I was gonna say I'm gonna try and see if they'll.
What new game are they?
A lot of the guys I play with are playing it too.
Yeah.
So
So it's battle royale, just like Ring of Elysium,
And every other
PUBG,
game coming out.
Fortnite. But they've got some different. You can only hold 2 weapons, and it's got some other different nuances to it. So
I'm really surprised that Super Smash Bros. Wasn't 100% battle royale.
I mean, could have been. I mean, I guess it is 100% battle royale. So.
I wish it was 3D instead of 2D.
Standing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but their single player campaign isn't just all out. I mean, it's 1-on-1, I guess.
It's still last man standing.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not a battle royale.
That's any fighting game. Do you 100-man battle royale? We did it together. Doubles. We could do teams. Teams of 2.
Yeah.
Teams of 4. As a squad.
I'm not saying the whole thing's not all that though.
But it might as well be because that's all you do. Anyway, sciencey news.
Sciencey news. You want to talk about sciencey news first, or you want to ask me my blind science question?
Yeah, let's do the sciencey news first because I'm gonna find you the blindest.
I already have a blind science question.
Oh, let's do the blind science question. Dale.
Read it.
So I think Josh will get this one, but I've been kind of exploring how we talked about like what is a science. So I've been trying to find like different type of sciencey questions, and this one I think you'll get, but I think it's still a good one to learn. So, what is the basic scheme of modern classification for animals, for any species out there?
Modern scheme?
They call it a scheme, but it's like the classification.
Taxonomy?
Yes.
Breakdown that way?
Yes.
God, I hate you. You're usually, there's a main distinction between like plants, animals, and in the animal section there's a breakdown. In the plant section there's a breakdown.
Those breakdowns have names.
Yeah, it's
that's what I'm looking for.
Animalic, so kingdom, kingdom, phylum, species is shut up. Species, and then your subspecies. So for instance, there's I know very specific ones. I know chordata literally means anything with kidneys. So any animal that has kidneys usually also has a heart too. So chordata means anything with a heart. Sorry, my bad. And that's only because all renates, which are things with kidneys, are also chordates, which means they have hearts.
So I'm looking for more of the names of those classifications. Not the names of whatever.
What they are. I know, you have Animalia for the animal kingdom. In that, you have the... I'm trying to think. I'm going down just for humans here. I know humans, modern day humans, is Homo sapien sapien, which stands for modern man. So it is basically, that is Homo being our genus, and sapien being, Homo being the species, and genus being the sapien. And then sapiens, again, the second time, just saying that we're modern man, because we're not Neolithic man or Neanderthal man, which was a separate technical species, which was, I can't remember what the Neanderthal species was.
I need one more classification.
One more classification?
Yep, I had 5 in my head. You've said 4 of them.
Fungi?
No. I'm looking for the different types of classifications.
Oh.
You have the hierarchy.
Yeah, kingdom, phylum, genus, species.
Looking for one more.
You kind of have them in the correct order.
Subspecies. There's not another one below species?
Nope.
No.
Species at the bottom.
Is there another one above kingdom?
No.
Technically, yes.
What's that?
We'll get to it when it's done. But
I think there's one below above kingdom that I can't remember.
it doesn't go kingdom and then down to genus. There's stuff in between it.
Kingdom.
And you'll slap yourself in the head if I tell you to.
I know, it's all right. It happens. Man. I think I told you last week, biology and
this is zoology.
same thing.
Yeah, but what about cryptozoology?
Give me 1 second. I don't want to give up on this quite yet. I'm just trying to think of all my stuff here.
Oh, I see the top one. I changed it. So that one's not technically. I mean, it is, but it's not the one we were taught in school. So I'm not going to expect him to know.
Well, no, I don't. I agree, but because there's multiple of the kingdoms, and he's already said a few of them, between plants and animals and fungi and all that other crap.
I just can't remember. So you have animals, then you have the subsection of vertebrates and invertebrates per animal. What?
What are those, though?
I know. I'm trying to think of what that name is. Because I know. I mean, it would break down from animals, vertebrates, invertebrates, and then you have your invertebrate animals. You have your chordates for those, and of your vertebrate animals, you have chordates of those. I don't think there's any animals with backbones that aren't chordates, though. So everything with a backbone usually has a heart. Oh my gosh, why is this killing me so much? Like, rank? No, that's not what it is. Does the first one rank though? Rank, kingdom, phylum? No.
Nope.
Oh man, what is it? Yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, I know vertebrates and invertebrates would be the next qualification after that.
Yes, you can tell him.
Can I tell him?
Yeah, go ahead.
You went to class.
Is it class? Fuck.
You had them in the right order. And it was all in the family. I tried
Class, family.
Class, order, family.
Yeah, so it's domain. Well, so the one I'm looking at is life, then domain. So you have things that aren't alive that would potentially fall on a different
Viruses.
taxonomic rank.
Yeah.
But then it's domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species.
So I had 5 in my head. You got 4 of them. But, and here's why I'm going to say, you said the word taxonomy.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would know what that is.
Really? It's Aristotle. That's the only reason I knew that.
I know. I was kind of on the fence on this one just because.
So believe it or not, so Aristotle was one of the people who started doing this taxonomy. And that's actually where I learned more about taxonomy than I did in biology, was in my metaphysics philosophy class.
I would have got kingdom, class, order, family, genus, species. I wouldn't have got phylum. I wouldn't have got domain. I wouldn't have got life.
Let's just say I wouldn't have got domain. The only thing I probably would not have remembered was actually probably order. Because I always remembered phylum was like a funny, not like funny haha, but like funny.
So I'm on the fence. Drew, what do you think?
I think the knowledge that he had between like all the other stuff about like the chordates and everything like that was enough to put him over the mark there. To give him more than a 50%.
Because I know some of the names, chordata and.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you knew taxonomic rank.
Yeah.
You knew.
What if I throw in another fun fact?
Go ahead. You already won, but
lizards and birds used to be under the same. Oh shit! I think they were under the same class back in the day. So like reptiles and birds used to be under the same thing, and it had to do with how their feet were separated. Like if they had like separated feet into claws, they were part of that subcategory there. Remember, it was both birds and reptiles, and that was Aristotle's doing, and it wasn't until much later that they were like, oh, birds have hollow bones and most reptiles don't.
So what is the human taxonomy? What is their kingdom?
Kingdom, Animalia.
What's their phylum?
I
think you said this.
Vertebrate.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
No.
Chordata.
Okay, yeah, Chordata.
Class.
That would make sense. Class, Mammalia.
Yep. Order.
Is that Homo or no? Order. Ape.
Sort of. Primate.
Primate. Yeah.
Suborder. Infraorder.
I don't know about. I mean,
Yeah,
I think after ape, the primate comes Homo. Or I guess it would be sapien. I guess then.
No, family is Hominidae.
Hominidae.
So they're hominids.
Hominid.
Yeah, hominids.
Subfamily is hominid. Tribe is homini, and genus is Homo.
Yeah, which basically is all the same thing.
Yeah,
Species
all that.
sapien.
Yeah.
Sayans.
And then subspecies is sapien. So it should be species sapien, subspecies sapien, because there are Homo sapiens that aren't modern man.
Well, the subspecies Homo erectus, right?
Not always. There's Homo erectus.
Distinct species of the
erectus
genus
is
Homo include Homo erectus.
Yeah. There's also like Homo habilis that's extinct. And different I said different hominids,
Hominidae.
which are like
Hominidae.
human-like apes, basically.
Homina.
And I remember that from. Did we ever make her our sexy nerd of the month? The Natalie, the other person I follow on Twitter.
Natalie Portman.
No,
Ooh, Natalie Portman.
she's from Star Talk. She's one of the primate people.
No, we did not.
Darn, she's a wonderful person. I just can't remember her name now. It's been a long time since I listened to Star Talk, since there's no new episodes.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles, Joshua.
Yeah. Natalia Reagan. That's her name. Sorry.
So we want to continue on after Blind Science. I think you got it, Josh.
Just a little bit more just on our next sciencey thing because we like talking about it. So SpaceX and Boeing both have orbital flights for commercial crewed capsules. So they're test flights, but they're coming up. SpaceX's Dragon crewed capsule will test first, and then Boeing's orbital capsule will test second. Basically, they're in a bidding war with the United States to see which private company in the United States is going to be the one to be allowed to send people to the International Space Station, specifically Americans.
So this is the schedule I have, and this is based on TechCrunch.com. SpaceX will demo its first one uncrewed on March 2nd. Boeing's orbital flight test uncrewed will be April of 2019. Boeing's pad abort test will be May of 2019. SpaceX in-flight abort test will be June of 2019. And then SpaceX Demo 2, which will be crewed, is in July of 2019. Boeing's crewed flight test will be August 2019.
So basically, the abort tests, I just wanted to talk about that because I think that's a really good thing to kind of talk about. So on the previous shuttle missions that we had, we did not have a way for people to abort the mission after the rocket already was lifted off, essentially. Now what SpaceX was working on specifically that I know about is essentially a sub-rocket inside the rocket to jettison the personal capsule away from the rocket faster than the explosion would take place. So if there was a leak and the fuel lines were to rupture and the whole rocket were to begin exploding, they would be able to jettison the top of the rocket away from the actual, or the actual pod, the capsule at the top would be able to be jettisoned away from the Dragon rocket, the giant fuel source underneath. And I think that's an awesome thing that they're testing, because that's something that can, having an abort switch is something that, during the Apollo missions and the current Soyuz capsules we have right now, that Russia uses right now, there's no aborting. When that thing is on the rocket pad and the countdown is started, you cannot stop that, because once ignition is started, that's a process that takes, a minute and a half to get underway. But once it's started, it cannot be stopped. And you can't rescue those people from that. So then they're literally just sitting there for a minute, knowing that they're sitting on a detonation that's going to explode. So yeah, it's crazy that that's a thing that they're testing. I'm really excited for it. Right now, the United States has no way to send astronauts to space. And we are paying Russia, oh man, it's a lot. Hundreds of millions, I think,
Let's look it up.
per launch. And it's so much cheaper for us to use commercial-based things with re-entry rockets that can be reused again and again. So SpaceX and both
One
Boeing.
astronaut is $70 million.
70 million? I think it's going up though, isn't it? Like it's supposed to go up to like 140 million.
So it's right now for 2018. It's been going up and up and up. Yeah, it has. Right now it's at 81 million as of 2018.
Okay, yeah, because I know like they were saying that it was projected by the time we can start launching our own people to go up to like 140 million for just one person.
Yep.
And that's just for the person. That's not including the extra money.
But that is round trip.
Well, it's easy to get back.
Well, don't you have to still? I mean, you still have to launch stuff up to come back. So by 2018, NASA and its partners will have paid roughly 81 million per person to ride a Soyuz to the ISS and back again.
So is that an average price then?
No.
Because if they're saying as of that time they would have paid an average, they would have paid.
Yeah, I don't think that's just a flat fee they pay.
No, but I mean, it's interesting to see if the first couple people, they were only spending like 20 million.
So I have a little graph that shows since 2006.
Yeah.
They're paying 25 million. It went down in 2008 to roughly 20 million. And then it's been going up relatively steadily, about 30-degree incline, until 2018, which is 81.
Okay.
This is a NASA source from Business Insider.
Yeah, it's something that has been big news, and it's always been part of SpaceX's goal was to win a contract to be the United States' partner for sending things into space. So the fact,
it's funny that we have like partners, we're working with Russia for this, but at the same time, half the country doesn't want us to work with Russia
for any reason. I mean, it's the same thing as we talk about, like we have like we're friends with Saudi Arabia, even though they murdered that reporter, but we're kind of like, but it's okay because we also get a lot of help from Saudi. Like they buy a lot of our stuff, so we don't want to burn that bridge with them. And it's kind of the same thing with like Russia's like, well, we don't want to burn that bridge with the United States because they help pay for our Soyuz capsules to keep being made and sent into space. But yeah, it's one of the the second you need to rely on other places for stuff like that is one of the telltale signs that you're probably no longer going to be considered a superpower. Mm-hmm. So it is a good sign if the United States can start doing it on their own.
Yep.
By the way, I remembered what that morning show Philip DeFranco was about that I really liked. It was on alternative energy. And not global.
We were all curious.
As we're talking about this, I remembered the other thing that the United States sucks at is alternative energy other than fossil fuels. And they pointed out that Venezuelans were, huge on oil production, and how that is really wrecking their economy. But then you look at like Iceland, that's huge on geothermal and wind, and water power, and Iceland's almost a full 100% done. And Texas is the most green state right now, which is also crazy because like Nebraska and Iowa have better sources of wind than Texas does, but Nebraska just doesn't want to get in on that.
It's because there's people in Nebraska that suck.
That's right. Also, I guess in sciencey news, this totally works. Tesla has a meeting with the Nebraska unicameral to get a vote put in to see if the state will allow Tesla to start selling their cars and building a showroom and a maintenance area in Omaha.
Nice.
So it might be.
If that happens, I'll buy a Tesla.
If that happens, I will work for Tesla. But
and never leave Nebraska.
Wait, that was the one bigger eye roll than earlier.
I almost bought a house the other day, but that's besides the point.
You almost bought a house.
Better been in Michigan.
I almost sold my car and bought a house in Nebraska. Not gonna lie, but that's for another podcast. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys for the last 78 minutes.
Thanks for listening, and catch us on Project Nerd.
Boom shakalaka.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Sexy Nerd Science Season 5.
Make sure to like us and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Don't forget to check out our merch on Teespring and support us on Project Nerd Patreon at patreon.com/Project Nerd.